Okay, so we are going to, let's see, should we go back in time? Really long back? Not really, really, but in one of my oldest folders, which is terrible to look at today because I was not original back then. I am sure that in this folder you can find a lot of things which are possibly stolen or not stolen. It's just that I had no imagination myself, so I copied others' artwork. But that is what most young artists does. They copy their idols and drawings they like and of that sort. So this folder really frightens me because I haven't been looking in it for quite a while, and I know that there are some artwork there that I am a little bit terrified to see again. But yeah, this is a really old folder. I think it is, let's see, I can see if I can, 2003. 14 years ago. Must have been 14 years ago. And 14 years ago, how old were I then? I was 13 or 14. So I was a teen back then. And I was into manga. Yep. This was the era of when I was drawing manga. It was when I was in high school, basically. And it's a little bit terrible to look at this today. It's really frightening. Really frightening. Basically, when I'm watching these, I just want to sink through the ground because I'm so ashamed of them. I'm so extremely ashamed. Sailor Moon, of course. I always had to watch Sailor Moon before I went to school because in the kids channel they aired Sailor Moon every morning. So that was a holy thing to do. Watch Sailor Moon and draw in the mornings. So yeah, a little bit awkward this. And there we have Witch. I think it is Witch. That one I'm not sure. I have no idea what that is. It is something. Hi Poison Soldat! Welcome to the stream. I can actually see that I was trying to draw. Yeah, I was trying to draw something else here because I see a leg here and a face there. But then I erased that apparently and drew this instead. Curious. Wonder what that would have been. More Sailor Moon. If you can't hear the pain in my voice when I'm talking about this, it's I'd rather forget my manga time period. Oof. I think that is Hermione Granger. I think, I'm not sure. 2013. Or a Sailor Moon. Oh. And then we have Sailor Moon. I'm not even sure what kind of colors I have been using. Ordinary ink. It must be something ordinary. It's nothing fancy, at least. I can see that. It's not fancy. Yeah, Sailor Moon, quirky doodle. More Sailor Moon. I'm so extremely ashamed. It's so silly to be so ashamed of old artwork, especially if it's manga. And there's a lot of manga here. Or quite some. Whew. This was drawn from a Lena Philby drawing, I do believe. And then we have Christina Aguilera, huge fan of her back then. Though this looks really terrible. Really, really terrible. I know I don't have anything. I don't have anything to say about that one. I have I have nope. It's Christina Aguilera. This is also Christina Aguilera, and I have nothing to say. But it's really, really awkward. Ugh, I don't know. And this is what is it? He I know it's a manga. Something with a love. I do not remember. Something here love. Here, yeah. I'm not sure. I used them a lot as a reference in my teens. I never watched the show, but I used the references from the internet. So that's what I did. Not sure about that one either. That one is original, because that I know. That one was original. A horse head and eye with a manga girl with her nose way too high. More manga. Yes, it's really bad markers. Really, really bad markers. Jesus. Like I said, I haven't been looking into this folder in years. And here we have something. I have no idea what it is. Is someone laying down? More manga. I really had a thing for manga back then. These are not original. Because I know that I had a reference for that one. And I believe I had one for that one also. We can just assume this one was traced. I can say it straight away. This one was traced. Yeah, I traced that one. Because I can see that today and I know that I did. And I was so happy when I had drawn it. I was like, hey, look what I can draw. Look what I can draw. No, Sarah. No, you traced. You cheated. And here we have one drawing of an elf or fairy or something in that manner kind. Another one. This is not original, that one either. Jasmine, that one is original. That I know. I know that that one is original. Ooh, have a fancy dinner, Mendo. Jasmine with a way too small mouth. Weird. So weird to look at this. I don't know about you. And now I think we go over to fancy. And these are not original either. I can basically say that not much in this folder is original. Like this one, this is not original. I feel so ashamed. Like seriously, it's really tearing on me to see these. Oof. But it's also fun to return to old artwork and see the change I have gone through and my artistic skills. I think that is really funny because her rib goes up there, but it should be going like that or something, but I just forgot about that line and went with it straight up in the arm. Teenage self. Unicorn. Wow, this was okay, it's just thick paper. And also back in these days I rarely drew with colors. I only drew basically with graphite pencils. And yeah, it was very seldom I drew with colors. Some dragons. Oof. That is the dragon from the Swedish version of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because that was the dragon on the cover. So I gave it a go, apparently, and drew it. Just because I liked it, apparently. That one is original, and that one is original. I do know that they are. The rest, not so much. You are not original. You are original. Like I said, it's a little bit. I don't even have the word for it, but it's a little strange to look back at these. That was a copy from a Britney Spears album. The index folder. Can you say the index folder? She had a drawing or something. So I decided to draw that one. Apparently. A dragon. More dragons. And also, guys, I said it earlier in the stream, but I'm sure that you missed it since not many was here to start off with. But I do not have any music in this stream, just to make sure. So if you guys want to listen to your own music, it's just to listen away, because I have music here. Just to make sure. Just, yeah. And the drawing, I think that is original. That's 2004. So now it starts. Not really, 2003. Turn that one away. A little drawing. Oh my. This folder will be worth a fortune someday. The day when I had no original thoughts of my own. More dragons. And here comes horses, and let's just say that I was a huge fan of Lena Philby back in the days, in my teens. So there will be lots of copies from Lena Philby's drawings. So that's a treat. Yep. That horse actually looks like a mouse. It looks like a mouse instead of a horse. We have more horses. Perfecting the shading and and highlighting with the graphite. Yeah. Teenage me trying to be as good as I possibly could and failing. More Lena Philby. This folder is basically just Lena Philby. Yep. I will tell you when I see your original drawing, because there won't be many. I remember when I was drawing these, the Lena Philby drawings, when I was little, because I was so... back then I really loved to draw. I could sit and draw 5 drawings per day, drawings like that one. And I had so much fun, and I wanted to be a comic artist back then, because I was always sitting with a magazine of Min Häst and watching Lena Philby and her drawings, and I just wanted to be just like her. And it's funny because today I am working for the same magazine as she does, so it's a little bit funny to look at them today and remember how I felt as a young teen, wanting to be a comic artist and just copying away my idol, basically. So that is really interesting. That is interesting to return and look at these. Of course, today I am not drawing like Lena anymore. I have found my own style. Hopefully. So I'm not copying her. More horses. There are so many horses in this one. That one's very pale. Yeah. I still like this one. It's kind of cute in its own way. Little brown horse. Or chestnut. Dark chestnut. Mole! Fan art. Fan art. Wow, that's a massive muscle. Jesus. And he's pouty. Very pouty. Moody. A moody horse with a big muscle. Here we have more. These are not Lena Furberg. These are from another artist. I do not remember her name, but she did illustrations for many Pollux books. So I copied. Like I said, this was the time when I had no original thoughts of my own. I allowed myself to copy. Oh, the small ears. So tiny. Struggling to find where to draw on the paper since the drawing disappears. Not enough paper. I see that there is... No, that's not... No. Wait, did I? Did I accidentally... No? I did accidentally with this one. I missed a spread. But I do believe that... I see a shadow here, so there should be another drawing here of a horse bucking a rider off, because I can see the shades. So the drawing is missing. I'm wondering where they're... Possible that I have removed it years ago and placed it somewhere else in the folder. It's very possible. Nothing is impossible when it comes to my old folders. Oh dear, I don't... you know, it's so awful. More horses. I think these are basically just horses now. For the rest of the folder, there are lots of them. If you guys have any questions in the chat, you can just fire away the questions, since I will be able to answer questions quite well right now, since I am just flipping through the pages. Or if you have any questions regarding the art in the folders or sketchbooks, you can always just fire away a question if you feel like it. I still like this one. The only thing possibly that I would change, if I could, is to make the ears a little bit bigger and move that one a little bit in that direction. That is possibly the only thing I would change with this drawing. But it's still interesting to see it. Let's see. More horses. Fjord. Bad Fjord. That was the first time I got... No, I have used it here also. But, what's their names? I want to say sketchpad, but I'm sure that is not the English term. I'm trying to find one. I know that I have one somewhere. Not here. I'm sure that I have one, but I'm not sure where exactly it is. Poison Soldat, do you remember why you drew horses back then? Basically, the most obvious choice is because I loved horses. I have loved horses since I was very little, so that is why horses came to so natural for me to draw. So it was basically an interest which moved over to another interest. So from horses to horses in art. Spirits. Ooh, 2003. Is the Spirit movie so old? 2003. Jesus. Feels like not so many years ago. More horses. That one is cute. More horses. I'm trying to show you the best I can on this side because the light is what's the word? The light is causing a reflection in the plastic. I do remember this drawing very well because I had a huge problem with this horse behind. And as you see, it's very strange to look at it because the hind legs are way higher up than the front legs. And you can see that I have been erasing because I made the back way too long. And that is also very interesting to look at today. But I know, and I do remember that I had lots of problems with that behind there. It was really troublesome for me back in the days when I was a teen. These are actually, I think this is watercolor pencils. Dry watercolor pencils. I just didn't add water, just used the pencils. Which I did back then because I think I only had the watercolor color pencils. If my memory serves me right. This is charcoal. This is charcoal. One of my first drawings with charcoal, I think. I cannot say anything for certain here when it comes to information about the art. I can just speculate and try to recollect the information. Some horses. Holding this up a little bit. Oh, and this is where my Ryan style was born, basically. Really, really sticky legs. Or not sticky, liney legs. Thin legs would be the proper way to say it. Jumping. This is the early stage when I started to draw more comic style. It's really fun to see these today because my Ryan style or my comic style has changed so much since 2004 when these were drawn. But it's really fun and neat to see them again. Like I said, I haven't seen these in years. I don't open these folders and look at them daily. Only once each 10 years or something. No, but once each 50 years or something. They just collect dust up in my shelf. But I can't throw them away. That would be very silly and stupid to do. These are also Lena Furby. Bad markers. Very bad markers. Here we have a fjord with its eye way out. I think if I should have placed it today, I would place it there. But back then I placed it out there, which doesn't really look good, but that's how I drew back then. This one is original, because I can see it on the style that it is original, because that's how I drew horses back then. More Lena Furby. Now we have this one. one. Practicing grazing horses because they are hell to draw, basically. Or they were. This one is ugly, plain ugly. I hate to see it. Not to me. What is that? Never heard of. Go to hell. This was my first Ryan style drawing, and to be honest, this was not original. I saw someone who had drawn this in a Minhest magazine, and I thought it was so cool with the legs. So I copied the style, and then I turned it slowly into my own. So this was the first drawing I did based on someone else's style, which then turned into my own. So I'm really satisfied about that. Quirky Doodle, do you think you will ever do a redraw of any of these? That was actually a very fun suggestion. That would actually be quite fun to see. It's just to select one of them and see which one would be best to redraw. I mean, they are from 2003. These. There are others also. Maybe I should do a redraw at some point with these old sketches. This one is original, that I know. Benafati, friends forever in Swedish. And here we have a dog. Had a little episode of drawing dogs. Today I don't do it because I do not think I'm so great at dogs, and I haven't really been practicing for years and years. But this is a husky, that I can see. And something that wants to be a dog, but I think almost that it looks like a werewolf. A very disturbing werewolf. Assassin of Cows. How about all of them? Like a weekly thing. That would be quite the project to take on, to draw one each week. And I am really bad with commitment like that one. Like those, like this. Yeah. That is Sherry Khan from the miniseries of the Jungle Book, Little Jungle Book. This is so Sherry Khan when he was a young little boy. And this drawing has a really funny story. A sword and a worm, no, snake, and fire and a dragon or something. I drew this in class in high school, and I left the drawing on the desk for just a couple of minutes, and when I returned, my signature were erased, and my friend had written her own signature here instead. And I couldn't remove it, and today I think it's so funny when I see it, because her signature is still there, and you can see that I have my signature is behind her signature. So I really think that this drawing is really funny. It has a little funny story behind it, which is I like it. I like it. I'm never gonna remove her name. Never. I think her aim was to get a higher grade from my teacher. No, I think she just did it to play around and mess with me. Here we have some orcas. Let's see. Yeah, Poison Soldat, I think it is 22 at least, at a minimum. Yeah, there are a lot of folders, and we'll see how many I can go through today. I'm sure that we can't go through all of them, but I am aiming to at least go through half of them or 1/3. We will basically see how far I will reach. This is from The Lion King. I really like that scene with the rhino looking up, so I just use that as a little reference. Rat and Tuck. Brother Bear. Of course. I'm feeling that this is quite thick, and I think that is because there are lots of drawings inside this one. Is it? Yeah, it is. There are lots of drawing in here. All of them Ryan horses. Or the Ryan style. Basically why I called it the Ryan style is because the horse here, his name was Ryan. Lots of little drawings. And these were original. And this was back in 2005. 2005, I must have been 16 or 17. I think. More Ryan style. I really like this one. It's funny. As you see, I didn't really think about if there were holes or not in the drawing, in the paper. As long as I had paper, I was good to go. So, yeah. I just think it's funny today to see the holes in the paper. Because this is not drawing papers, these are copic paper. Or copy paper, not copic paper, because then it would be a little bit better. Or bad, because they are not made for graphite. So that's that one. That's the doom. The doom.